What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm joined here by none other than Detroit. Detroit, thank you for doing this, man.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Prism Supply. That's where I became familiar with Detroit, is watching him on one of their videos. I'll link it down below. I highly encourage you guys to check that out as well. But today I'm going to talk to Detroit about the motorcycle that's sitting beside us. I've kind of already gotten a little bit of a history lesson on it, but I'd like for you guys to learn about it. This is a special man, this is a special machine, and this is a special opportunity.
Listen, you know, we're going to take this on the road. You're like my press guy, so folks, I don't know if what he said is true, but I liked it. It was good. No, I appreciate that. There's nothing other than being excited about being acknowledged for what you love to do, right? And as I said earlier, often we think it's the motorcycles and it's the people. As you said, seeing me through Prism and with Jake and having them out to the house is something. And then, no pun intended, the motorcycles are the vehicle by which we get to build these relationships. So, yeah, I don't mind being called special. I've been called that a couple times, but you know. But yeah, as you saw earlier, I race 1929 Harley Davidson DL. This is the godfather of all 45 cubic inch that ran all the way up to the mid 70s with the G motor, the Survey cars. But this was Harley Davidson's introduction into the 750cc arena, flat V-twin. And what makes this one special, they didn't do the research and development on the frame. They had to rush it to the market. So they took a V-twin motor and put it into an existing frame, and this frame was designed for a single pre-1929. You can hear it running right now. No, my bike don't sound that good. Listen, you gotta edit that in. And so you'll see some anomalies on there that make it special now. Upright generator, dual exhaust. That's a 1 year only exhaust. I probably should take it off and sell it because I need money. It's a pretty expensive exhaust. It had dual headlights. It was the first time Harley Davidson did the dual headlights. So it's a lot of 1 year only stuff. But isn't this race that I'm at, it's like a mobile museum. I have a traveling Black History museum, but we get to have a museum where you get to see things in action, as you said earlier, what they were designed for.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I want to touch on is this bike, as I'll show you guys in this video. This is not what this thing started out looking like. When Detroit got it, this was a pristine show bike, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it's likely going to be tucked away, hidden away, you know, where just a few people can see it. There's been, you know, hundreds of people come through here today that have looked at this bike, sat on this bike, taken photos with this bike, and that's what I think brings people into this motorcycle community.
Absolutely. If we don't share it, and it's okay, because if we didn't have collectors keeping these artifacts for the next generation, we would have lost treasure. So I'm not beating up on those folks who don't ride them and don't race them. However, there's very few people get to see them used as they were intended to be out here. First time I got a Harley, a friend of mine said, "You got one of them old tractors." I was so offended. Like, don't call my bike a tractor. And what he meant, as I've said before in other interviews, that they run. You leave them outside, don't, but you know.
Right.
And this bike was pristine. It's, as I've said numerous times, it's set in my living room. It's called Picasso. It was an art piece. And on the trailer, off the trailer, on the van. Yes, I travel in a van. And so, but then, you know, I started thinking about my friends who had these bikes, and a friend of mine, Bill, who passed away, with this crazy collection, and thought about, man, the joy that was lost. And as I often say, we can make a lot of money or a lot of memories, and I'm on the making the lot of memory side. Now, when my wife sees this, she's gonna say, if you don't stop saying that and start making some doggone money, right now it's about the memory.
Yeah, and that's what counts. At the end of the day, you're never gonna say, hey, I wish I would have made a little bit more money in my life.
That's it.
It's the memories. That's all we've got. Detroit, I want to talk about some of the things you've changed to make this bike a little better for the track.
Yeah, Well, to make it better for the track, you probably want to change the racer, but that's not what you're saying.
Oh, come on.
No, I love it. People say, man, that bike's not that fast. I said, the bike's fast. The rider isn't. I didn't grow up on sand and all that, but I love living this life.
Yeah.
And anybody who say I can do that, hey, I'll pay your entry fee. You can borrow the bike. Let's go. You know, I pulled the fenders off. I changed the seat. I had a buddy of mine, Fish, Shiners Unlimited, set me a static seat post so it just sits lower. We cut the handlebars down because I would have been riding like this, which you can see some early footage I was.
Yeah. So I noticed the welds here. Is that what you did, was just take the bend back out and straighten them up?
Nope. That's what rookies do. I took those handlebars, put them on a show bike about 7 years ago, forgot we welded them up because we never plugged it.
Okay.
So we just put a weld and we knocked it down, so it really wasn't a weld, just butted up. So those welds you see there are at the point we should have done it the right way.
Right.
And each one of those happened during the race. This side broke at one race, welded it up, the other side broke. It made me look cool.
Yeah.
But when I got home, I had to throw them underwear away. No, I did not. No, so we cut them down because we wanted speedster bars. And now I am looking to do some more dedicated stuff to this bike. For example, the tires need to be more aggressive for the clay and the sand. I should not be running with floorboards and a kickstand, and so you can know that it's not dedicated solely to racing. But I also want people, when they see it, to know what that bike looked like as well.
Yeah.
And then you know what else it should do? Encourage people to say, man, I got this bike sitting here, maybe I can do this.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfectly suited for racing.
No.
This is a prime example.
Get out
like you
here.
said, there's a lot of stuff you want to change. You were out there today. I'll show these guys some footage of it.
No, don't do that. Let me give you some money. Okay, make me look good. Make me look good. But you're right.
That's the thing. You got out there, you had fun. Guys, he's going home in one piece. The bike is going home in one piece. And that's kind of what it's all about.
It is. You hit it on the head. We get to relive this. And this is history, right? And I have I collect history. And one of the things when I go speak at motorcycle clubs about motorcycle history or black motorcycle history, we know there's different types of motorcycle clubs: MC clubs, outlaw clubs, 1% clubs, riding clubs, social clubs. And a lot of times the clubs want to identify as outlaws, but they don't do the homework. You know who the first outlaws were to the motorcycle world? Were people who did privateer racing.
Yeah.
You were not sanctioned under AMA. Well, first it was FAM, Federation of American Motorcyclists, then AMA. And if you ran a race that you hadn't signed up for their organization and weren't sanctioned, you were an outlaw. So today we really do privateer outlaw racing.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the early days, did Harley not, did they not say, hey, we don't promote racing, we don't support this, we're not on board with this?
There was some periods in time where Harley either came into racing late or was dragged into racing because of competition. Right. But when you're talking about a brand that has survived in the United States since 1903, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harley wasn't always in with the sanctioned racing, and every time they did, they dominated, right?
Yeah.
And so,
and I think the idea there was it made their product look dangerous to people, and they didn't want to say, hey, this is not a dangerous thing. You can go out and ride through the country and use it for transportation.
Go home and put some fenders on it, and take it to work.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to see people crashing on it, whatever. But then they realized, oh, hey, we're selling a lot of motorcycles. These things are winning. Guys are getting into this. Let's get into racing.
And it's still true. Race on Sunday, sell on Monday.
There you go.
That marketing slogan still bears true. If somebody's sitting in the stand today with the hundreds of folks that were sitting here, and they've been debating about getting a motorcycle, and then all of a sudden they see, man, this Harley's almost 100 years old, and there's some that were over 100 years old.
Yep.
Hey, maybe I can go get me one of those new sleds, because maybe this is not for everybody. But as I tell folks, and people say, are you brand loyal? I say yes, to whatever bike I'm on when I'm riding.
Yeah.
However, If you got 5 10-year-old kids standing on the corner, no matter what bike goes by, they say, look at that Harley.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Harley wants to stay in the game, wants to stay in the fold. And then we have a product that, again, I'm not here to sell Harleys. I'm here to enjoy the product that I'm on. And
yeah,
so,
you're just sharing your experience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's true, it's honest. And that's one thing I want to let you guys know before I go is I've never met Detroit before today. I walked up, was just shooting some photos of his bike. He talked to me like we had known each other forever.
That's right.
He's very approachable, guys. If you see Detroit at a bike show, at a bike rally, at a race, whatever, please come talk to him, introduce yourself to him. He really is the people person that he mentioned. And I've had a great experience. I talked to him for a whole 2 minutes before he said, sit on my bike, see how it feels, see how light it is. And that's just not something that happens in the motorcycle community. So Detroit, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing, man.
Thank you. If we don't grow this community in a caring way, and I know that's diametrically opposed to the image we supposed to have.
Yep.
But as I've said a million times, I've been in the military, nice community. I grew up in Detroit. I survived. I have a great support system. Got a great family, but there is no community that I've ever been a part of that's like this two-wheel community, none. And so we have to share. You know, we're the people who are racing against each other, and as I always say, if we break, we want you to fix your bike so we can compete fairly.
When I first walked up, you were giving another guy parts for his bike.
Yeah.
You were helping him find nuts and bolts to get his bike going.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. Guys, thanks for watching. Detroit, thank you again for doing this.
I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. Promote the love.
Man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.